Okay, welcome to this podcast. This is the fifth in our series of how to run a safer and better food business. Subject of this month's podcast is Food Safety Week, which we've been promoting in association with Scores on the Doors. Now I'm going to be joined in a second by Nick Eastwood, who is out and about for us. Nick, where are you?
Hi Johnny, I'm actually in the beautiful Lake District today.
Right, what are you doing there? Should be in a studio with me.
Unfortunately, I'm working for a living. One of our customers has had an outbreak of Norovirus, which is obviously quite a nasty bug, and we're obviously here helping them sort it out.
So Nick, how does this link with this month's theme of Food Safety Week?
Okay, it links quite well in fairness. Food Safety Week is obviously a week in the year where all the main bodies linked to the food industry tend to promote food safety. And it's very much to raise the profile of it and for a lot of cases to actually look at the business and just make sure that their safety levels are up to the required levels they need to be.
Right, okay, so what we've done is we've produced a top 10 food safety points by questioning EHOs in all the sort of Scores on the Doors regions about what are the top 10 things that they want businesses to be focusing on during this week. And we've also produced a little bit of a little bit of fun, true or false, the food production game. Now we're going to come to those in a second, but tell me a little bit more about what's happening at this hotel and how that links really with Scores on the Doors and particularly the sort of Food Safety Week.
Yeah, okay, no problem. As most of people listening to this will already know, Norovirus is quite a nasty little bug. It tends to be human-borne, although it can be food-borne as well. And if it takes hold of your business, it can have quite damaging effects. What's happened with this hotel is a coach party visited the hotel. On getting on the coach down in Brighton, somebody felt ill. By the time they got to the hotel, they were pretty seriously ill. Obviously into the bedroom and was seen by a doctor from there. Unfortunately, it infected a lot more people on the coach than obviously the staff in the hotel, and as a result, they had to cancel 4 major weddings with over 1,500 people last weekend. So it's had a bit of quite a dramatic effect on the business. They practically closed down most of the hotel while they sort it out. So it's quite a nasty thing to get. How that actually links in with Food Safety Week is interesting point. Quite a few of the staff had level 2, what was basic food hygiene training, but they didn't actually have a food safety management system in place. Now, unfortunately, that's not a good thing, because if something as bad as Norovirus hits, you really need to be able to prove to the EHOs what you're doing once you've got something like that and how you're sorting it out. And interestingly, I mentioned that they actually didn't have a fully working food safety management system in place. You've got to be a bit careful of the insurance company as well. We're all paying insurance to protect against things like this. And the insurance company will look for any route that they can avoid.
Yeah, this is the big deal, because it's one thing dealing with Norovirus and when your EHO arrives following their instructions, but afterwards they're going to crawl over all the systems looking for where you've got failures in your documentation. And I guess the first point of that is, where's your documented food safety management system built on HACCP principles? Where's your staff all up to date on, basic food hygiene practices?
Yeah, what an EHO will do is first and foremost will identify the problem and help you stop it, because they're duty bound to make sure that no members of the public become ill. So obviously under their advisement they cancel the weddings and the hotel guests. So they'll want to stop it first, they'll want to prove where it's come from. Luckily in this respect is they knew the person was ill in Brighton, so they could pretty quickly put a hand on it. But then, more importantly, 2 weeks afterwards, what are you doing to make sure it doesn't raise its ugly head again? and what systems you've got in place to stop and prevent it.
Yeah.
I mean, most people will know this anyway. If you don't, something like a Norovirus can actually live on a carpet for 7 days before contact with a human being or food.
Depends how clean that carpet is. It could last longer, couldn't it?
It depends on the car. Yeah, if you work on an average 7 days, just think of the footfall through a bedroom or a reception room in 7 days.
So you could get kind of reinfection and stuff, really.
Like huge. That's, like I said, the chef, the celebrity chef, that's what happened. They didn't know they got it, and they kept reinfecting the staff.
Let's move this back onto the article that we've written that this podcast accompanies. Then the top EHO safety points. I guess of those 10, if people can look at the article whilst looking at this, 2 of them were about HACCP principles and food safety management systems. If I was to ask you to pick out 2 of your favourite from there, I guess it would be those 2.
Yeah, I mean, HACCP, as it says, hazard analysis critical control point. This is a major hazard to the business. You're analysing it to find out what it is, how do I prevent it, and then what's the critical control points you can put in place to prevent it spreading, coming back.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, in something like that, it's a cleaning schedule, and it's a deep cleaning schedule, and it's monitoring of staff. So that's 3 things straight away to the food safety management system. And in fairness, if you've got a limited system that's only monitoring temperatures, cooking temperatures, fridge temperatures, you're not going to be monitoring something like a deep clean schedule. You can't prove due diligence if you are doing everything you possibly can to stop it reoccurring, and that's what they're going to be interested in.
So that's going to be the fallout, if there is one, for this business once they've actually got the virus under control.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, they're not going to get in trouble for the fact that this person was not in Brighton to be ill, but you've got staff ill now, you've got cancelled people. If it rears its ugly head in a week or 2, which it unfortunately can do in Norovirus, that's when an EHO is not going to look too kind on your business.
Crikey, that was a proper answer. This is supposed to be fun, this bit.
It's my job.
Okay, true or false? While it's advisable to follow HACCP principles, very small catering businesses, including mobile catering vans, can opt out of having a full food safety management system. True or false?
Absolutely false.
I'd expect you to get this one right.
It doesn't matter how big your business is, you need a food safety management system. Obviously, for a mobile van, there's not as many forms as for something like a major hotel. However, the systems and principles are the same.
You and I both go to see our own football sides. The idea of a small burger trolley, hand pushed concession having its food safety management system fully documented in a lever arch file underneath. I find it hard to believe.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But they've got to have it, haven't they?
Yeah, it's the text that it will be back at the office will the main system, and there I would hope that they've got temperature monitoring and the sheets to ensure that they're doing that, because you're right. I mean,
have you ever seen a mobile burger van with a probe?
No. Have you ever had a burger from a mobile burger van that, unless you've seen it cooked in front of you, you're 100% confident about it?
Okay, let's start to wrap this up then. We've had a little game of the food production game there. Nick seems to be scoring well on that. Have a look at the article yourself, see how you get on. There are actually some full answers for the rest of the questions we didn't cover. A couple of freebies that we're giving away, Nick. One is Fundamentals Food Safety Management System. Tell us a quick little bit about that.
We sell a lot of our food safety management systems, as people probably know. What we're offering, really for the smaller independent caterer, is the first three chapters free of charge, so they can actually have a look at it, get to grips with it and get a good feel for it. There's actually enough information to set your own system up if you require. At that stage we offer upgrades to the other 2 courses, but to be honest, as a company we want to make sure that every caterer there has access to some free food safety management.
So that is like a free mini course that covers definitions, the law, and I think how to identify hazards. Is that right?
Yeah, you've got enough there if you've got the time to then go and take that knowledge and set one up. What we do strongly recommend, and in fairness, about 80% of people who get the fundamentals free, actually upgrade, because time's an issue to all cases. We all know this. They get the principles, they then upgrade, and they basically just download the forms and stick them into the business. But there is enough there for anybody to actually set one up and keep your business legal and impress your environmental health officer.
Nick, I'll let you get back to helping the customer in the lakes. Please don't come back to the office until it's entirely sorted out, because we're too busy to have everybody off with that. Okay, and that concludes this month's podcast, which has been number 5 in our series about Food Safety Week. If you need any more information, visit scoresonthedoors.org.uk, or our website is thesaferfoodsystem.com, and we'll speak to you soon.